with him.
Hello, everyone. We are packing peace in here tonight. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for the new follow, Aztec. Happy to have you. Um, Thank you for all the resubs in the hype train. Yes, it is I, Obsidia. I lived, bitch. That's the takeaway here tonight.
Does that still work when you put yourself in the situation in the
yeah,
first place?
it's really I was just playing on like what is it like NG plus mode? What is your like weird FromSoft terminology?
New Game Plus.
Yes.
Girl
But
Mode Plus.
welcome everyone. I have been out of commission for a few months while I was undergoing surgery, but I'm back. I'm gayer than ever, and I'm here with my lovely friends for a wonderful resuming of our D&D campaign, Nexus Forlorn Legacy, which I'm the writer and creator of, as well as the DM. As is tradition, we're going to be doing round the table introductions for everybody before a brief session recap, and then we're going to jump right in. So, first, but our most belovedly green lady here, we got Peculiar Little Rabbit.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Peculiar Little Rabbit, aka Beatrix. I am a variety streamer that focuses on roguelikes, RPGs, and digital artwork. I don't really have too much to announce right now, other than, like, I'm still working on making my own Pokemon region, still hoping to force my lazy butt to actually make the region, or not the region, the new RPG season that I want to do too, and probably going to be doing a live reading of the Christmas Carol with chat decided upon voices for everyone, but that'll be for a while later. Yeah. Oh, hey CJ, I know you're probably going to be watching this in a couple of weeks when you're back at work.
And who are you playing?
Horace, how could I forget? I am playing as Feng-chen Wong. I am the daughter of a Solari hobgoblin scholar and a Avalonian minotaur chef. I am apparently very autistic, although I don't believe the term has yet been coined, given our universe's equivalent time frame. And I am going to be playing your criminal mastermind tonight.
Thank you, B. Next up, we have Sif VT.
Oh my god, it's been so long. Am I boy? No. Am I girl? Yes, Nafisa is girl. Hi, it's me, Sif, apostrophe underscore VTuber, very important. You guys know me, living suit of armor. I do art, I play games. Yeah. I don't have anything special coming up, but I am playing as Nafisa here on Obsidia's campaign. Little Drake Warden girl inspired by Middle Eastern and Central Asian cultures. And I have a little pet dog named Nyx, who's blind and has scales and breeds lightning. Yes.
Thank you, Sif. And then next up, we have a double feature because of people's failure of dexterity rolls, IRL.
Riddle.
So, Lily and Meris.
I guess I'll go first. Hello, everyone. I am Meris, aka the one who lacks in dexterity, as your boy broke his ankle and is still recovering. So it's a little tricky to access my streaming setup, which is on the 3rd floor of my house. But ordinarily, I am a storytelling streamer. We talk books, we talk literature, we talk media literacy, and it's just a jolly good time. However, today we are throwing all brain cells promptly into the trash, and I am playing Soleil, the hot pink tiefling fae party himbo werewolf.
Looking a lot of titles.
Yeah, it's a lot of titles, and I'm looking forward to playing our token dumbass. But for things going on with me, I am actually, hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be returning to streaming next week. I have I wouldn't say mastered, but I have managed to climb the stairs of my house the other day. So I will hopefully be getting back to Storytime streams on Sunday, and then next Wednesday I will be launching the start of my own tabletop campaign, Trial of the Hearts, which is a ode to all things fantasy and romance, and I hope that y'all will enjoy it. So yeah, I will now pass the mic over to Lily.
You know, it wasn't exactly planned that the two of us would be the pink characters, but I just feel like we're the pink duo for at least as long as this is going on. But yes, hello everyone. My name is Lily. I am a amateur artist that draws a lot of D&D characters, like Aurora. She was the last thing I drew, and her in a swimsuit, and all of my other D&D characters, as well as some relatable trans comics and personal stories. I am playing, as mentioned, Aurora. She is a sheep satyr, scribes wizard, sort of like bimbo-y energy, something going
The
on
old
there.
int-based bimbo.
Yeah, the himbo bimbo duo.
The himbo bimbo double feature.
Yeah.
Both of them int classes.
But yeah, just excited to be here. Excited to be back playing D&D. Very exciting.
Thank you, Meris and Lily. And yes, I am Obsidia.
Who are you?
I'm the DM. So as is tradition, we're going to try and now resume doing bi-weekly Nexus sessions on Mondays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, as well as I'm going to try to start streaming on Thursdays, where I'm going to be doing a Fallout 4 campaign, not Fallout 4 campaign, but a Fallout 4 playthrough for the first time. So if you also want to see that, come on by. It should be fun. As just a very brief summary, Nexus is a kind of 1930s tech level Magitech world, and currently our heroes are in the most Magitech portion of the planet. And they are currently residing in the city of Venonia, the city of birds, in the Confederatio Umbria, in the United Federation of Allied States. Additionally, I have to show off this bad bitch that I commissioned. If you need to know anything about me or my campaigns, it's I love the Raven Queen with every fiber of my being. So I commissioned 2 different pictures. One is a full body ref, and then one is an action pose of her. And she is so hot by the artist Amiona on Blue Sky and Twitter. And there she is. Look at her. She is so beautiful, based on a design that I drew.
10 out of 10 would make a pact with.
Yes, 9 sheep out of 10 would make a pact in their origin session.
Listen, she doesn't have a mom, so boom, there it is.
Goth mommy.
Mom secured.
Ready to go.
Mother acquired.
All right, so yes, you should definitely go check out Amiona's work. They're very good. They draw excellent elves, and especially like Shadowkai themed elves. So I knew my Raven Queen was in good hands. Previously on Nexus Forlorn Legacy, our heroes, their first days in Venonia, ran afoul of the urban court of the Fae, who had set a trap for them just to go nomming and fucking with some mortals, where they fought the storyteller's fairy tale-scape, and a giant wicker man made of rebar and like rusted steel, and were able to defeat it and break free back into the material plane, where they were joined by a draconic himbo man named Ludus, who thought they were pretty neat, and as thanks for helping him be a big old hero, he took them to meet his moms, who are a pair of dragons that live in the city. And they thanked the party by giving them a large stack of dollar bills, and gave them the promise that if they were interested, they could potentially give the party more work working for them going forward. And considering how much cash they were able to throw down, it sounds at least worth hearing out. So for the day of downtime, the moms had passed on the logistics to their trusty major domo, the kobold Zelik Karin, and she got them a hotel room at the Buena Serra Hotel, a kind of 4-star hotel in the upper spires of the city, and they each went their day out and about on the town. Soleil went to the lower spires where he ran into Lunas and tried to recruit him to go fight his grandmother, or Soleil's grandmother's 7 evil patrons, but Lunas said unfortunately he couldn't because he was currently committed to a quest working for a small, very, very exhausted goblin CIA agent. And then Feng made food for everybody and ran into Nafisa, who was walking around town as they went to the Von Yaskin Grove in the city, a small portion of relative nature in an overall industrial hellscape that is the city of Vennonia, where they befriended Enzo, a gnome deacon of the faith, who proceeded to bring them into the grove as thanks and get them some treats. And they got the opportunity to get personally thanked by the bishop of the city, a nightshade, which is basically a like 8 or 9 foot tall plant person. And
Your
she
standard poison ivy.
Yes, where she was clearly a blue rose themed nightshade, and she, as opposed to the fairly obvious like cybernetics that most Von Yaskins have as a portion of their cybernetic druid religion, hers were kind of integrated into her skin to the point that she kind of looked like Shodan from System Shock 2, but like an organic person. And she gave their thanks, and Aurora went to go patrol around the upper parts of the city getting art supplies, wherein she encountered a beautiful statue of one of the gods of the Tetrarchy, the predominant faith of the planet, and particularly the Euphas, the god Cognitius, the god of ingenuity and invention, who back in her homeland of Erixia was known more as the god of knowledge and magic, but here as an inventor and scientist, and that it was made by the very talented sculptor Verity Fontaine, who is of particular significance in Aurora's origin session. But Aurora has no memory of this woman aside from thinking she's quite talented. She then chatted with her shadow a bit, kind of reflecting on the situation, before everyone kind of started to return to the hotel for the night. And that is where we're going to start off, with specifically the lobby bar, where I believe 2 people are about to cross paths. Soleil, you're back at the hotel. You're feeling a hankering for a drink or something more.
You know what? The night is young. We'll see what happens. But yes, I think he will take a moment to unwind. Admittedly, feeling a little disappointed that his bro won't immediately sign up for his grandma saving quest, but that's okay.
Tragic.
Very tragic. So he's going to mosey on over to the bar and hopefully, get some strong alcohol in his system to find a good way to end the night.
Gotcha. As you mosey up to the bar, it's a nice bar. It's a 4-star hotel. It's a nice bar. The bartender is probably about 5'10". He is a Earth Ganassi male with this very lustrous black opal skin, where it's got that kind of sheen to it that you can see various other like colors and fragments in it, depending on where the light hits it. You ever looked at an opal, you will understand.
Very opalescent, you might say.
Yes, I would say very opalescent. That would be an applicable word. And his hair is short, spun threads of gold. And his eyes are a pair of faceted diamonds. And he is wearing just like a a suit as he is cleaning some glasses and doing the bartender thing of like checking all like the garnishes, like the cherries and the limes and stuff behind the bar.
I've missed playing in a OBS campaign because all the NPCs are just hot.
They're
So
so it's my goal. It's my goal. Every character's hot.
welcome back, gang. But yeah, I think he'll just stride on up and order quite. I think he doesn't. He's been on this plane for a little bit, but he still doesn't know like the ins and outs of like what to order
Uh-huh.
at places. But he has quickly learned to just ask for the strongest thing that they have. Because bro is used to like Fey wine that'll like fuck mortals up.
Yeah.
So so I think he'll just, grab himself a seat and give a little tilt of his head, signal the bartender, and just do just that. Just say whatever you've got behind there that's strongest.
Yeah, it gives you a little quick up and down look because you are a very peculiar looking person. Yeah, which is a bit ironic after the description I gave him. But you're the one who's scantily clad with antlers, so.
I mean, why hide what the gods have given me? So.
And he gives you a big smile, and you see all of his teeth are pearls.
Ooh.
And he nods and starts making you a drink, which is he reaches to a top shelf that's kind of dusty actually, and when he brings it down, you see it is a Revenin spirit. You have no context for why that is relevant, but it is very pristine bottle with like looks to be handwritten like pictures and descriptions and stuff on it as he pours it into a glass and mixes in some other like ingredients. And you notice a lot of like sweetened things, like some like much more fruity accents to it, and then puts a lime spritz in it before finally putting a orange zest on it and hands it over to you. It's got a chilled glass so that the actual ice cubes are not necessary inside of it.
I love that this guy assumes that I have money. I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, he'll take the drink and give a little nod of appreciation, and we'll scan the bar. Who's around?
Um, at this time of the day, no one has actually really patroned it yet. This is like early evening, and it doesn't seem like anybody is back yet from whatever work and requirements take them outside of the hotel. The city is, from what you've heard just from wandering around, is that it's the city of birds is mostly known for its universities, research and development projects, and weapons testing and production. So generally, people are out and about very late in comparison to other parts of perhaps Umbria as a whole, maybe the world as a whole. But this seems to be a very work-oriented people, and so it is just you. But suddenly, something catches your eye as you see Aurora. Aurora, what brings you to a place like this?
I imagine she is kind of just getting in through the like revolving door of the front part of the establishment. Like, and just if you were to look at her, she's got like little bits of paint on her hands with a gigantic like canvas on her back. And it's just kind of a bit of a mess as she like strolls in, unable to properly get through the revolving door with this giant piece of art on her back. And she's like, "Oh my, oh God, I should have taken the door."
Oh, bless her heart.
Okay. And she'll look over to the bar and be like, "I need something." And she's like used to just talking out loud to herself because of dealing with Nethris for so long.
Yeah.
But she's just like, hmm. And then she'll just like glance over, see nobody else at the bar but a gigantic pink tiefling.
I'll give a little wave. I've definitely noticed your entrance. Turn to the Ganassi bartender and just say one for the lady as well, if you wouldn't mind.
He nods and goes, "Whatever you say, sir."
She'll just like kind of wave back, but her hand has like a brush still in it that's still like somewhat wet with paint, and it's just going to go ahead like clomp on over
A bellhop
to
will help you get in if you're struggling.
she's she's in at this point.
No, GM, this is
but just
funnier.
carrying far too much than she should be. Since it's been a while since she's had the resources to be able to do this. And just going to go ahead, set her pack and just the painting down to her side, and just go sit next to Soleil at the bar and just take a deep like, how was your relaxing day?
It was fine. I talked to Lunas and that's about it. Bit of a disappointing conversation, but
He turned you down?
yes, and not in the way that you are insinuating. I gather.
I was not insinuating nothing there.
I guarantee you, if that was our conversation, it would have gone a very different way. But no, he's unfortunately a little preoccupied at the moment, but so therefore unable to join us, particularly myself, on our respective quests. But it's all right. He's a busy guy. A lot of other people need him. I understand. It'd be nice to have someone that strong to count on.
Oh, darling, you're very disappointed.
I am. Takes a swig.
The bartender, will slide over a drink for Aurora and kind of make a little nod to Soleil and say, "From the gentleman."
Considering you just got here, I'm surprised that you have such manners for a man.
Good manners. My mama taught me well.
Well, uh, sorry.
Watch Ashes if you want to see
Yeah.
that is not true.
Yeah, you want to see the lies that Meris just uttered.
Well, I very much appreciate it, and you didn't even know the fact that this is my favorite kind of drink.
I didn't, but it's a good drink, and I figured you would appreciate that.
Neat whiskey, for the record.
That's your libation of choice.
Hmm.
Duly noted. This is not that, but it is good.
No, it's not that I only like that kind of drink. Oh, goodness gracious! What the hell have we gotten ourselves?
Quite a lot, it sounds like. Seems like everything's always in motion around here.
I mean, that's just how it goes. I haven't really taken time to stop in a city for, well, about a year, so this is a nice reprieve.
Looks like you still kept yourself busy, though.
Oh, yeah. Every day.
That explains all the paint on your hands.
Oh. She just like looks. It's the first time she's noticed that there's paint on her hands. Oh, yeah. That's that. That's what. That's what happens. Oh, just trying to make. Well, basically the gist of it is that I've been traveling the country for a while and just been painting whatever I find. That's about my whole story. Nothing more to it.
For all you talk about art and painting, we have yet to see anything you've done. Would you care to share?
Got a good draft going here. And she'll just like kind of like take the piece up. And what it is essentially the same like skyline of the temple district that she found like all the sculptures and the artistic stuff in, with the statue of Cognitius, as well as a part of the painting. But you can see, uh, in this drawing. It's not complete, but you know that like it's probably a bit past the line art phase, a bit into the color phase kind of thing. But what you can see is um, essentially a lightning bolt coming down from the sky to sort of touch the finger of Cognitius. But the lightning bolt you can see kind of like flashes and is animated in a way that at sometimes you can see, depending on which way the light hits it, you can see the lightning bolt kind of like in motion going down to the statue itself. Well, focused a lot on this area here, but the idea is to, the whole cultural district.
So just for clarification,
Hmm.
the lightning is literally moving on the canvas.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen such a thing. And he'll point out that directly. Just I mean, don't get me wrong, everything looks good, but I've never seen a moving piece of artwork. That must be some heck of a magic ability you got.
She kind of like flicks her hair very proudly, and just like, well, that's kind of what I do. That's my specialty.
No one else does it?
Well, I can't say I've ever found anybody that figured it out.
I just I would have assumed that a particular talent like that, a lot of people would put their coins towards it.
Her face kind of gets a little bit more sad, and she's like, yeah, you'd think that, wouldn't you? But the world just ain't that simple sometimes.
People don't buy your paintings?
Oh, something like this, yes. This is just practice. It's not my, it's not my, it's not my choice necessarily.
I'm not used to the idea of trading coins for artwork, but that strikes me as a little odd, Miss Aurora. I mean, granted, it ain't finished, but this is some fine work.
Mm-hmm. It is.
There ain't some rich priss who's willing to part with some coins for this?
You're new here. I don't know if you've really gotten this, but thing is that there's a lot of people here that won't even take a second glance at me because of where I come from.
You can speak up a bit, Lily.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people around here that won't even take a second glance because of where I come from. Not to get into the details, but I'm from the nation that this place conquered. They don't much like us.
If they don't like you, why'd they conquer you?
I wish I knew.
Hmm.
Didn't really get much information on that. But, well, I mean, there was what the government told us, but I don't really know how much I can trust that.
Well, I fail to see how that would impact your sales. I mean, couldn't you, I don't know, sell through someone else or something like that? No one would know.
Slay, are you proud of the fact that you're part of the Wild Hunt?
Certainly.
Exactly.
Hmm. Fair enough.
But, serious subjects aside, you getting used to this place? Anything I can teach you as a little street smart sheep?
It's just when I think that I'm getting used to things, I always do something wrong and cause a commotion. Uh, I've really only seen a lot of the underbelly of these cities. It's hard for me to act, how would you say, proper. And you strike me as someone who rub elbows with some nice people. I mean, you knew how to talk to the dragon ladies. That was
Mhm.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, I'd say I do, but I also, it's nice to not have to do stuff like that. That's where I came from at least. Not having to rub elbows with the rich folk.
Hmm. So you're used to it.
We're used to both sides.
You don't come from money, though, do you?
No, not even a little bit. My daddy's owned a oh gosh, I can't even remember what it was. But some sort of business.
You don't you don't remember?
No. I mean, it's been a while since I've been back there. They had like some sort of shop or something like that.
I think Nafisa's right. I think we need to get you back home one
What?
of these days.
It's nothing like that.
I don't know. If I'd start to forget my parents, I'd be a little concerned. That's all.
Well, no, I remember them plenty.
Well, I still think it's a good idea. Plus, I'd like to see more than just these crazy metropolises.
No, I think if it's still around, maybe one day we'll go there. That's the thing, isn't it? It's still around.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it is. Now, can we I love talking to you. I'm surprised that we're having a nice deep conversation here. How
Would you rather
feeling?
have a shallower conversation?
I would rather have a shallower conversation right now, considering the fact that I've got this nice glass of alcohol here, and I kind of want to down it the hell down my throat.
Would you rather finish our drink somewhere else? Upstairs, maybe?
Hey,
Oh,
yo.
you changed tones real quick, Mister
Listen,
Slay.
I like to give a lady what she wants.
2 more drinks, you got yourself a deal.
Oh,
Sounds good to me, barkeep.
the bartender just kind of he raised the eyebrow a little bit, but he gives you that pearly smile as he pours you guys more drinks. You do notice, now that you've had a chance to taste them, that the drinks are deceptively sweet. They aren't like super sugary per se, but it is like a very stiff taste of fruit. You don't really taste the alcohol at all. Like soju level of you don't really taste the alcohol at all. But, from your passing glance at the bottle, this stuff is basically Everclear.
Damn. We
So-
may not make it upstairs.
Yeah. So just be aware of that as you have your second glass of it. Like,
Gonna need you to roll some dexterity checks to get upstairs.
Something Aurora would be passingly familiar with is that, Ravenin liquor is, the Ravenins always aspire to perfection in all things. And so this is very likely has been somebody's, years of work to get the perfect balance of essentially Everclear in order to make it so that it has the maximum like power with the minimal like discomfort, and which makes it a very expensive and very dangerous alcohol to consume.
What'd you spend your money on that you can afford this stuff?
I don't spend my money on a lot of things, so might as well spend it on something good.
Fair enough. This shit's really good.
The bartender will chime in and go, I was made aware that you all are staying here on behalf of the Karin account, so don't worry about, necessarily considering the specific cost of your drinks.
There you have it.
There we have it. Can we get a wine glass to go after this? There.
Fucking sippy cup, let's go.
Old sippy cup.
I mean, if you want to give the whole bottle and put it on their account, I'd be happy to do that too.
He kind of goes at you and goes, I'll see what I can do. Just remember when you're completing the gratuity section to indicate Mateo was your bartender.
Absolutely. Hard to forget a face like yours, Mateo.
Yeah, one of the things that's just like a little quirk that when you notice when he looks at you, because he has these faceted diamond eyes, you see like reflections of yourself, like a faceted reflection of yourself in his eyes when he looks at you. So just a neat note. But he will give you a wine glass to go.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think we're gonna go upstairs and hold hands.
You look at it, that bottle was 250 federal credits.
Who cares?
It's their money.
But we give Mateo a very nice tip.
Yes.
Good. The worst thing if somebody else is paying you paying for your account, you're like, nah, I ain't tipping.
Soleil, I feel like I have to ask, what tip?
Just the tip.
Which one?
The money kind, because I don't have the correct hardware. So
it's got the software.
Yeah.
Did y'all beat the Ashes speedrun to the first hand-holding scene?
Yeah.
Yes, I think we did.
All right, so yeah, because that was like session like 40 or something when that happened. But all right, you go hold hands with your glass of alcohol. What a way to start the session, everybody! After several months of hiatus, we're back. Horniest party ever.
Incredible.
As the rest of you, eventually settle down for your various nights, and fall asleep. The morning comes, perhaps early to some of you and later to others. I presume you all go through the motions of getting ready and stuff. You do know that you have your appointment to go meet back at the Montagna di Drago to see the dragon moms.
I'm presuming that we're all meeting up in the lobby, and then there's gonna be a carriage taking us, or are we gonna just already be there?
You will have a car can take you to the mansion if you are so inclined.
Yes, please. City big and scary. I'd imagine that we'd all be waiting for a car with Aurora and Soleil being the last ones out of the hotel, right?
I would say Aurora is definitely the last one out because she needs to clean herself of all the paint.
The paint.
Yeah, paint. That's what you call it.
Nafisa is detecting boy smell on you.
Musk.
I'm definitely gonna want to roll some insight.
Roll some insight checks if you want to see the walk of shame.
Yeah.
Oh, there ain't no shame in it.
Yeah,
Soleil is virtually unaffected. He just looks like a little more like refreshed and dewy than usual. Like
emphasis on the dewy.
Look, I've just met these people. Of course, I want to know if they fucking.
So please make an insight roll. Oh yeah, they fucking. That's a 21.
I give them the knowing look of someone who has never once even gotten close to it.
Procreation. Well, good morning. I flagged the Stanic cab to take us to the home, because I figured we might all get lost separately. Did you all rest well last night?
Eventually.
It was a really nice night's sleep.
Oh, were you guys together? Because you smell really like similar, but like, were you guys watching each other out? You don't have to keep watch at hotels.
Oh no, we had sex.
Mm-hmm.
You see the bellhop coughs a few times.
Oh, Art is here. Oh, thank you.
Oh, he's just the bellhop who stands there, for people, coming in.
Should mind his own fucking business then. Bro's not getting tipped for eavesdropping.
But yeah, eventually you see a car pull up and a uniformed driver come out, and he waves to the bellhop, and the bellhop looks at you guys and goes, your car has arrived.
Thank you. And then, like, as a tip, she just gives him a really shiny rock.
Thank you, miss.
He just smiles and picks up Nyx to go to the cab.
Keep the change.
Nyx's little feet kind of swaying as you're carrying her. getting into the cab, you basically have to lay Nyx across your guys' laps because obviously it's not designed to have
A
4
dog.
people plus a human-sized lizard.
That's okay. She's comfy. She deserves to be, the pretty princess on our laps.
Mhm.
Mm.
you all now have a little Nyx laying on you guys.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Anything on the drive over?
So, I heard tell that you fucked. How did that go?
I heard
How
too.
did
They
that
said it.
go?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
So
How did it go?
you did not.
What, do you want like the play-by-play or like a
Well, you
general
never
vibe
know.
or?
You never know. It pays to know, not the competition certainly, but it pays to take notes where one can on all things.
I mean, I could give you the experience yourself if that's what you're asking.
I don't think she's embarrassed because I don't think, like, if I'm basically playing myself here, I don't think that she has the idea of like, oh, someone would want to fuck me. So it's like,
I mean, it's just a
okay,
nice way to relieve stress. It's nothing that crazy.
a strange hypothetical, but all right. Mayhaps one day
Hey,
we will
my
see.
room's open. You just knock on it whenever you want.
Oh, so you two aren't like together?
Oh no, no.
No, nothing
Oh,
like that.
Nafisa takes out her journal and starts writing in it.
That's going in the book. You will arrive at the estate. The driver will let you guys out. There are a couple lizard folk and dragonborn with rifles slung over their shoulders, standing outside today. As you approach, they look at you guys and kind of nod, and you see the gate just opens, and you guys can proceed into the dragon lady's estate proper.
All right.
As you enter the building itself, you see all the little kobold butlers and maids running around, and you see Zelik is standing there in her little dark purple and silver, house uniform with the little like purple colored scale over her left breast, and her hair is pulled back into like a ponytail as she looks up at you guys, and she's very very professional, very businesslike, as she says, it's good to see that you all have decided to return here today for the potential of future employment.
Of course, with such a generous offer, how could we refuse? At least the audience.
Understandable. I know that the ladies have a few questions they would like to ask you before any future negotiations, and if you are deemed to be appropriate and you are receptive to their offers, then I will be handling the logistics of your particular tasks.
Very well. I assume there would be no objection, of course, to plenty of time to overlook the inevitable contracts, yes?
She looks at you and goes, permanent employ will be discussed upon the successful completion of this particular task. Until then, you are working on an ad hoc basis, and contracts will not be necessary.
Nafisa's like raising her hand, like how she was taught. Um, uh, does permanent employ mean that Lunas will join us?
She kind of frowns a bit and goes, uh, Lord Lunas is currently tasked with other responsibilities to the family. He will not be providing any kind of assistance as a part of the work that would be expected of you.
Nafisa looking back at Soleil disappointed.
Worth a shot.
Well, I'm sure once we thoroughly show how valuable an asset we can be to the household, that the mistresses of the house may see fit to lend him to us for service as needed.
She just simply says, That is certainly something to consider. If you will please follow me.
Y'all are really a well-oiled machine over here.
She goes, I make sure that the house runs efficiently and productively. It has been a responsibility within my family for generations.
That's nice. I get lost real easy.
I
You almost got stuck in a door yesterday.
That's true. I did almost get stuck in a door yesterday.
Oh no, Aurora!
It was just a big pain. It's just how it goes.
It's
I
okay. We will make bigger doors for you.
assure you.
Smallest party member.
It requires the biggest doors.
I assure you, Miss Aurora, if you have difficulties in traversing the estate, then the staff will gladly assist you.
Much obliged. Thank you kindly.
Nafisa, please make a perception check.
You got it, ma'am. Yes. Oh wait. It's been so long that after I logged into Roll20, I didn't click on play game. It's been so long.
Why you no play game?
Imagine not being logged into Roll20 at the start of the game, aka we did the same thing.
Thank you. I'm not in solidarity, brother. Here, let me get the there it is, the Nafisa character sheet. Then I go down to perception. That is a
23.
23.
There's something that you would pick up on just because of your draconic ancestry. You notice that the little like purple colored scale over her breast is a kobold size scale, not like a dragon scale or anything.
I'm gonna make a mental note of that. I don't know if now's a good time to ask about that.
It's up to you. You have registered that it is a kobold size scale.
You know what, Nafisa? Because I know she isn't a kobold, so I'm gonna ask. Excuse me. Your scale. Where did you get it?
Zelik kind of looks up at you, and she kind of puffs out her chest and stands up a bit straighter and goes, this scale, it was from my grandfather. He was born with purple scales. And she looks like this explains everything. And she has like, red scale, very typical kobold coloring. But, she kind of looks like, he was born with purple scales. And so after his passing, I have kept one as a show of our family's greatness.
Oh, so are you like Lunas's cousin?
She is a very, very well trained servant. So she doesn't like lose her composure, but she kind of blinks a few times with her mouth open and goes, "No, I'm not related to the Lord or to the ladies proper, but my family has served them for several centuries, and we were lucky enough that our service was displayed, and my grandfather was born purple."
Oh, Okay, sorry, I'm not too familiar with draconic people outside of my homeland, but if scales are good luck, I mean, I keep some of mine in Nix's around, and Nafisa will just hand her a small scale that like she shed, and it's really fucking tiny.
She takes the scale, kind of looks at it, and, thank you very much, Miss Nafisa.
Hmm.
And she kind of like doesn't know what to do with it, kind of like puts it in a pocket. Nafisa, now that she's talked about it more, it's probably an example of draconization, where
Oh yeah, yeah.
you spend enough time around dragons, you tend to start displaying draconic traits, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's probably that like magical radiation or whatever led to because one of the dragon moms is a dark purple color,
Yeah,
is probably that it affected her grandfather, and she thinks of it as a great sign of pride.
mm, the radiation that is like cleaning up after that. Yes.
By the
Oh,
way,
Yeah.
Nafisa, I got a question for you.
yes.
What kind of dragon are you?
Oh, I am a me and Nix are the stone dragons. Well, I mean, I am a stone dragonborn. Nix is a stone dog. Um, I'm from
a,
the
a,
eastern.
a dog? You certainly don't look like no dog.
Well, she's special. Lots of animals from where I am from are special. I like, for example, I'm like Nafisa just grabs Aurora's wool. See, like your wool is really soft, but like a sheep back home, their wool would be more like that thing you see people clean plates with, the steel wool.
That sounds that sounds really uncomfortable. If I'm not gonna lie.
It's what my clothes are made out of.
Wait, your clothes are made out of your wool?
Her armor is considered chainmail. Mm-hmm.
Huh? How do you shear steel wool sheep?
My
Very
uncle is very good
carefully.
at that. Hmm. My uncle is very good at it though, and he taught me. I could show you, although maybe not on Aurora.
No, please. I work really hard to maintain my wool as it is, so please, I will pass on the offer of demonstration. Thank you very much.
Okay. But yes, I am a stone dragon born from a small tribe out to the east.
I'll
uh,
have to go there someday.
Hopefully, I can bring you all. Hmm.
All right. You guys arrive once again at the large double doors, and as previously when you were here, they are very large double doors, uh, presumably fitting for something incredibly large to move through. But they open on their own, and just standing in that basically empty room are once again the 9 foot tall dragon moms, uh, Lady Stella and Lady Celeste. The one with her, silvery scales and her dress of that dark near black purple, and then the other one with her dark purple scales and her dress of silvery, white, just standing there.
That he's just gonna wave until Aurora
Aurora
does the
will certainly
bowing thing.
bow.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Bow. Yes, of course.
Zelik will, do a very low bow and will step away from the doors, and they'll close behind you guys. And the what's it called? Um the dark purple one, Lady Stella, will kind of gesture for you all to come closer, and she will say, "Good morning. Since you all have arrived here, it is safe to presume that you all are interested in future employ. Is that correct?"
Quite.
Nodding head.
Excellent. Now, we just have a few questions to ask you before we provide you any additional details. We want to make sure that you are appropriate for the kind of responsibilities we expect of you. and the silver, the mithril dragon, Lady Celeste will chime in and go, "Does that all sound amenable to you?"
I mean,
Of course. I hope we
Certainly.
can meet the expectations.
Excellent. Our first question has to do with, how do you feel about performing potentially legally dubious activities?
And this is a safe space.
The dragons just look at you very, very levelly.
I think that kind of answers your question. So that at this point, yeah. Oh, yes. I do that a lot.
I
If
mean,
need be, certainly.
are we hurting good people?
You should not be required to hurt anyone that you would likely consider good.
Oh, then I've got no problem.
I think it'd be mighty hypocritical if suddenly I gained a so.
Noted.
The radio buzzes in.
How do you feel about potentially working against powerful actors in the political or business spaces?
How powerful are we talking?
More powerful than even us.
Shit, I'm down.
I'd do anything to fucking take those bastards down a peg, if I'm being honest.
It would be a pleasure, a dream, even.
I mean, they seem excited toward it, so I see. That's what I
I'm excited to fight the government. Let's go. Everyone else is doing it.
Here.
What is a government?
And then they don't say anything. They don't look at each other, but immediately Lady Stella will chime in and say, "Excellent. Now my final question is for specifically Nafisa. It is unusual to see a stone dragonborn this far west. I presume that you have some lofty ambition or aspiration that brings you into our territory."
Oh, yes, I have ambition. When my dad was my age, he went to go on his trip, and then he met my mom, and she made his trip very, very long. And then some time went by, and they went home, and then they had me. And when I was young, my mom got really sick, so her friends came, and then she and my dad left to go put my mom somewhere safe. And then my mom told me to go find her when it was my turn for the trip. So I am just looking for my mom.
Fascinating. It should be noted that while you are here, you are within our territory, and we would ensure that you respect our domain over these regions.
Oh, does that mean I have to give you my scales too?
They they don't normally blink, but Lady Stella, just one like slow blink. No, that will not be required.
Okay. I will be very nice in your territory. You two have been very hospitable.
Noted. You are an unusual example of your race.
Thank you.
Lady Celeste will say, "Well, you have answered the questions that we would find most pressing for this stage of the interview process. We have a preliminary task that we would like you to perform as a way of gauging your capabilities and if you are worthy of our patronage. Zelik will provide the details and logistics to you." The Lady Stella will then say, "The item in question is something of significant importance to me, and if you fail in your endeavors, it will simply delay my retrieval for likely another century. But if it can be returned now, I would be grateful and giving."
I look forward then to exceeding your expectation.
Unless there is anything else, you are dismissed. Zelik will handle things from here.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you both for the opportunity. Uh, we will we'll certainly do our best.
I expect it. And
Another bow on the way out for measure.
the doors auto open behind you, and Zelik is waiting outside in a bowing posture as the doors open, and you guys pass through. They will then close behind you.
Well, god damn, this kind of works out, doesn't it? You hate the government too? Looks over at both Soleil and Feng.
Oh well, I mean, I'm personally on a quest to take out particularly powerful individuals.
So it's kind of like crossfire kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know who exactly it is we're going after, but if they're more powerful than these two dragon ladies, then I imagine there's a good chance they're probably on my hit list.
Is that
We'll find out though.
like you kill him, right?
Yeah,
Do you have other people you need to kill?
I have a few.
Do you know their names?
No, I'm still waiting on a sign from my grandma.
Okay.
She's not dead. She just kind of, she chimes in once in a while.
No. I figure she's not dead. My dad, my parents gave me a list of names to meet. Like not like a hit list, but like a hug list. And if it overlapped, that would be awkward.
I would,
Mhm.
yeah, I would hope it doesn't overlap.
Certainly not. But to answer your question, I am ambivalent to government as a whole, but I find that if I am, in fact, to succeed in my personal ambitions, it would be far better for me to be able to do so while making people reassess the accepted status quo.
Works for me. Fucking love to topple this damn place.
I mean, you can't just break a system of government. You need a new one, yeah?
Oh, yes, I intend to. It's
Hmm.
very important that I start at a more reasonable scale. It would be easier to upset the order of a broader scale government than convince some of my extended relatives that the clan system is perhaps not the best that it could be.
Mm.
Hold on, is your whole goal in all of this is to be the government?
Mm, If it ends up happening, then it happens. But at the moment, I find that people are much more responsive to revolutionary ideas in the abstract, at least, if they come with a flair for dramatic effects.
Yeah, more power to you, I guess.
That's a lot of words you used right there.
Yes, I've been told I am somewhat overly verbal.
I mean, you sound like Jacob, and he's alright. Your words are good. Speaking of words, logistics sounds scary. Do you think, Zelik will, make it easy to understand?
She's standing right there next to you.
Oh, hi, Zelik!
She looks
Sorry, I
up at
thought
you.
thought we were still, like, wait, my bad.
She was right outside the doors.
Oh, damn.
Yes, if you're so inclined, I can begin the discussions of where you need to go and what is expected of you.
Lead on.
She takes you to like an office that is kobold sized. However, there is a table that has like people sized chairs, as well as a chair that has been like intentionally styled as a booster seat. At the head of the table, and you see there's lots of books and there's like a typewriter and lots of papers and pens and pictures of hundreds of kobolds, all like hanging from the walls. And for those of you who are not kobolds, they all look like kobolds. There's a lot of them.
Wow.
You do see a picture of one of them, which is an older photo that is a purple kobold in it, and he is wearing a very similar uniform to that of Zelik. But obviously, this is significantly in the past, and you look at it, it's about 150 years ago. Kobolds live a very long time. They just normally don't make it that far. So she will go over and get some files and climb. There's like little rungs that she climbs up to get into her booster seat.
Delightful.
Her throne.
Yep, her throne.
Mm-hmm.
As the rest of you guys can sit in it. In Draconic, you see that the various pictures have dates and like in very small script, no pun intended. There are like the names presumably of all of these kobolds and stuff on each of the pictures. So you see they're going back about 300 years. Some of them stop being photos and start being like paintings. And they're just lots and lots of kobolds who are all from the family Karin. And she opens up her files and goes,
All right. Well, the matter at hand is there is a unique situation that has arisen in the kingdom of Cassyl. A rare artifact has recently resurfaced that we wish to return to the proper possessors. And so we would like you to go retrieve it for us.
Sounds simple enough.
Do we just show up and take it, or?
That'll be left to your discretion to decide how to retrieve it, but I can provide you some information around it as well as the item itself.
Yes, let us begin with the what and the whom it is that currently possesses it.
Excellent. The item in question is a obsidian dragon skull that has formerly was in the possession of the Reiterstadt before they were overthrown during the Great Liberation Wars. It apparently disappeared during the Revolution and has recently resurfaced in the northern Cassylian city of Cordanada. it appears it was in the possession of the Count Rodrigo di Cordanada, who was recently discovered by Misericord operatives to be fostering elements of the old regime and several of their stolen artifacts. And after his trial and execution, a few months ago, his son is holding a gala event to raise money for the Children of the Revolution Fund, an orphan fund in Eisenstadt, and a last showing of the various Eisenstadt artifacts before they are returned to the National Museum of the Revolution. And so this is a rare opportunity where the items will be available, in that we will know where they are located before they are provided to the Eisenstadt. So this is a chance for you guys to be able to retrieve them and ensure that they do not disappear for another century.
I see. I take it then more diplomatic approaches to reclaiming through negotiation have fallen short?
They are of particular importance to the current Eisenstadt government. In full disclosure, the dragon skull in question was the source of the very flag of the old Reiterstadt regime, the Black Dragon, and it has apparently been held by the people there for over 400 years. So the new government seeks to have it returned to them to display in their museum for people as a symbol of what was taken down by the overthrowing of the tyrannical regime.
I certainly have no love lost for that myself.
So, what's in it for y'all? Like, why do you want this dragon skull?
It is of a displayed significance to Lady Stella, and if Lady Stella requests it, it is my duty to see it brought to her.
I don't suppose that, as a dragon herself, would it be gauche of me to hypothesize that perhaps it has some more direct value to her?
She gives you a very business-like look, and she goes,
It is not my place to provide conjecture, simply
Of course.
tasks.
Of course.
So the son, Count Diego di Cordanada, is going to be holding a gala event within the week in Cordanada, and it will be providing an opportunity to gain access to his estate and be able to access the skull itself. I have reason to believe it is probably not going to be openly displayed simply because of the size of it. It is approximately the size of a semi-truck.
Pardon me, then how are we supposed to get it out of there?
We take the truck.
Well, if it's the size of a semi-truck, then it ain't gonna fit in semi-trucks.
So we get a bigger truck. What's the deal?
It has to come in something, right?
You got a bigger truck laying around, Soleil?
I'm sure we can get one.
There are means of acquiring this. Do not worry so much, Aurora.
I'm just a painter. I suppose I should leave the details to y'all.
She hops out of her booster seat and walks over to one of her cabinets in her office and takes out a pair of items. The first is a runically inscribed orb that she puts down. There's like a central kind of like appears to be a runic gemstone at the center of it, and a seam that runs around the center of it. And she says,
This is an orb of containment. It should be able to, if you get it close enough to the object, to reduce the size of the object and store it temporarily within the orb.
How temporarily?
Well, the orb can only hold one thing at a time, and its magic will run into complications if given prolonged exposure to even the latent magical energy of the skull itself. It should be sufficient for you to contain the item and to return it here.
Would the orb hold other things? Like people?
I would not recommend using it on organic matter.
Okay.
The orb was not designed for the sustainment of life.
Hmm. Now, this party that was mentioned, I don't suppose that we, by any chance, may have means of more legitimate admission to the event?
That is something we have chosen to leave to your own discretion. This is not just important to the ladies as a gauge of your skills for this matter, it is also an important gauge of your skills, period. They wish to see how you approach the problem and how you overcome it, or not.
Of course.
Will we have any other people to talk to or help us when we're there?
There are no available assets that can be provided by us. There is obviously a deal of scrutiny about the gala itself, and anything more than the dispatching of you would be untoward entanglement in potential actions.
What I'm picking up is kind of just gotta get in there, probably distract the people inside, and then just have somebody that's strong, probably go back and take care of it. Looking over at
Um,
Soleil.
Hey, listen, just point me in the right direction and I'll take him out.
no. Soleil, you've hunted before, yes?
Hmm?
You hunt, right?
Every day. Well,
Well,
not recently, but
I mean, we could wait for it to be in the middle of a pack, or we could wait for it before it reaches the watering hole. She like sort of like gestures to like what if we just like instead of going through the hullabaloo of breaking into the place that it's gonna be in with all the guards and stuff, what if we just jack whatever it's coming in? Intercept.
I would say that while in its current position, it is currently in a private possession, which makes it more politically expedient with before it is handed off to the very likely government couriers to take it to its home country.
Best only have to deal with one Nepo child than to deal with an entire government. Understandable.
This gala, it's only for the one night, right?
Correct.
And how long is it? How much time do we have to scout out and plan things? And
Uh, After we already factored in that when you take the train to Cassyl today, you should arrive there in a few days, and then you should have 1 or 2 days, depending on if your train arrives without any delays, before the gala itself.
okay, I think I have ideas. If they're okay to share.
I
Please
got
do.
nothing other than I can play distraction for whoever we need.
I think we can't make a plan with what we know. I mean, none of us know what the building looks like. None of us knows, how this thing moves. And I mean, sorry, I'm thinking of it like an animal. How about when we get there, I'll go take first look. Um, Fung, you know Card, yes?
Yes.
Uh, do you think you could look into how we could get away with a thing the size of a semi truck?
You
I
use the
can
orb.
make some
Oh,
inquiries.
right. I'm so sorry. I have semi truck in the head, not the
No,
orb.
it's
Never
just
mind.
sized like a semi
A
truck.
semi-truck sized orb.
You
Yeah.
figure that the dragon that this skull is from was probably about the size of an aircraft carrier. It was real big. Which means
I
it
would have to imagine that given the given the size of the event in the guest list, there must be something in the way of additional temporary workers that would be hired on for the night. We might be able to use that as a means of entering.
Mm, I mean, not all of us have to be like that, right? I mean, I imagine some of us might have a good position as a guest, as a visitor. I mean, will we have tickets to the Scala? Like tickets to the Scala just as to
No,
sell
that'll
it?
be for you to decide how you wish to gain access to it. Once again, this is to show your capabilities. We're just simply providing you with the information we can about the location.
What can you tell us about the man himself?
Well, the current Count Diego de Cordanada is a. She looks into a file and like moves over like a picture, and you see it's like probably from a newspaper of a man. He's a half orc. He appears to be half orc, half elf. Um, and he's got very much longer, pointier ears than normal orcs have. He does seem to have like a short undercut that's like waxed in place, and it is actually a color photo. So you see that he has a blue eye and a green eye, much like Soleil does. So perhaps the elf half of his family were wood elves and descended from the Wild Hunt. Um, and he's in his probably like mid 40s. And he's unlike his father. Apparently, he seems to have claimed no involvement with the Reiterstadt, or that he was aware of the possession of his father had of any of these artifacts, and is hoping the Scala event will in part be a way of displaying the cleaning of a stain on the honor of his family. Uh, he has overall displayed a willingness to cooperate with the Federation ever since his father had to step back from active command of the city and of his family.
I see.
So here's what I'm thinking. I got like lots of ideas percolating in my head. I've never done anything like this. I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, but I do have ideas. So I can at least change my own appearance myself. But I was thinking like could I like disguise myself as one of the guards or something? And I don't know, maybe we have like Soleil outside pretending to. Well, you are a monster, but pretending to be a monster and creating a big old distraction while Nafisa and Fung go in and well steal the thing. Could that work?
It certainly seems like a start.
This all sounds great until I had all the guards hunting me.
Well, I could support you.
It has been brought to our attention that the that the Count has hired private security for the event, as well as that there should be dignitaries from several organizations, most likely local influencers, politicians.
Oh
As
no, influencers.
Can't you can alter your appearance, you said.
Yeah.
Can't you just turn into Pants himself and intercept the
Well, I suppose I can. I
I
hadn't really thought
imagine
about
that
that.
he would likely be at home in his own home.
Well, then
So we
that's
take him
yeah. I
out.
would say then like that's all the more reason for me to be like, hey, I'm Mr. Fancy Pants. It's my time.
Personally, I'd rather take out one guy than however many guards is filling.
Hmm.
Oh, you could take them.
In a
Agreed.
fight? In a fight, right?
Fuck off. A question about the crystal you have given us for this.
Yes.
When it has something inside, is it a simple matter of, in order to release the thing, it must be released at once? Or is it possible to replace something already in the crystal at the same time as putting something else in?
No, it has to be fully released before something else can be placed inside of it.
I see.
As a means, because we are aware that you might be involving an expedient getaway, we've also provided you this. It's a stone of recall, and she puts it down. It is a very like runically inscribed, like rock that has various like copper woven into the various runes, and she holds it up and says, "This will contain a single mass teleport for you all to return to this location. Unfortunately, because of the wards that exist within the city as a result of the war, teleportation is not guaranteed until you've arrived a safe distance from very likely the estate itself. You'll know because these runes will light up and will signal you that you can now be able to transport.
God.
So be prepared to leave the establishment and presumably make it to as far away from it as possible."
Out of character, do we have access to the dimensions of the skull?
No, it's like very much a you might have like a picture. You can make make an intelligence check to see if you can
Okay.
try and mental math the proportions based on the picture of the skull.
How big is big?
That is a nat 24.
You know exactly. You see
Give
that
us
some
the dimensions down to the inch.
yeah, 50 years ago, one of the knights of the Reiderstadt, took a picture, and there happened to be a coffee cup in the frame, and you could use that as a base point of reference to determine the exact proportions of this skull.
Of course.
So, it is. I'm gonna do a quick googling. How long is a semi truck? It's approximately 70 to 80 feet long. And
What's
it's a very
the height and width on this bad boy?
I don't know. That's a question.
It's a
You know more
semi-truck.
than I do. It's a skull. So I don't know, maybe like 20 feet high.
God
Okay.
damn.
Okay.
This was a very large dragon, presumably in life. You have no idea how big the dragon moms are in their true forms. So this is a very, very large object.
All right. This may seem like an odd question, but do you know if whatever tailors you employ for your mistress's service, do you know if they have any quantity of elastic that I might borrow.
She kind of looks at you, confused.
I mean, we could probably just go out and buy some.
This is going to be a significant amount of elastic.
What do you need all that elastic for?
Goodness gracious.
I think I know how to create something of a decoy, a replica of the skull that, while it will fail under intense scrutiny, at the very least, given the absurdity of trying to steal such a thing, might buy us a little extra time.
How much elastic are you talking about?
At least a semi-truck's worth of elastic.
I'm like,
So out of character, one of the infusions I have is Bag of Holding. While it does have dimensions there, it doesn't say that I can't have an elastic material for the opening of the bag.
I'm gonna say no on that.
Oh.
Considering that's a magically dictated thing, it's not a, well, yeah, the bag's a little elastic. No, the magic sustaining the bag is setting those parameters.
Darn, we could have had a paper mache skull decoy.
You could still have a paper mache skull decoy, but
Hey, we could have the paper mache skull decoy in the orb already and then bring it over. It's genius.
Yeah, that would still work.
You just need a room that's big enough to fit both the skull decoy and the skeleton at the same time.
2 semi-trucks big
Two
room.
semi-trucks.
But she will chime in additionally about the count and goes, we have been informed that there should be a exhibition match being displayed during the event itself. Apparently, the Count de Cordanada has a bit of a love for pugilism and has arranged for some regional combatants to come and do an exhibition match while the gala occurs. How this may be helpful to you, that is up to your own discretion, but I thought it'd be helpful to tell you.
Is that something someone on our team could enter?
Looks pointedly. That's a little...
It's not me, I promise you.
Not you, Soleil.
Listen, I just want to see him get skewered by, like, all the guards.
Skewered?
Hey, yo! Got skewered
Didn't
enough
know you were
last
into
night.
knife play. Jeez.
She will say, is there any other questions before I give you your tickets? Your room, board, and incidentals will be covered by my resources. So do not worry about that. Focus on the job at hand.
Very well.
I don't think there's any other. Sounds like y'all are really relying on us to make the dream work, so we got a few good heads on our shoulders. I think we can come up with something.
I hope you do. I look forward to seeing you achieve this. It is something that will definitely earn you the good graces of my mistresses.
And with that, she'll hand over a series of train tickets for business class to take you from Vanonia to Cordanada. And
I'll be waiting here for your return.
And she pops out of her booster seat.
Thank you kindly. We'll be back soon. We need to go plan. Or maybe we should do that on the train. We have a bit of downtime on the train.
Yeah, you have a few days on the train.
I see no reason why we can't start now.
my brain is not exactly suited to this kind of thing if it hasn't been obvious by my ideas so far. Um so uh well, I will think on any ideas that I do have, but I do think that disguising myself as the big man himself is definitely a good option.
Have to make sure
Mm,
we also find a way to two of you all.
That's true.
no, I agree. As someone who also has that spell, I think we can make something work with it.
You think he's got claws? I've always wanted to have claws.
Well, elf, orc, tusks perhaps, but uh, looks at looks at Soleil. Was any part
Play with
of
his clawed fingers, like, well,
was
this
any
makes me
part
like
of
me.
your family elf?
But I ain't got any elf or orc in me, so
Hmm.
Currently.
currently.
And like you
But
guys have a picture of him, so you know what he
Hmm.
looks like.
Mhm.
So
I think it would be good to have the ability to enter in first with a unremarkable form. I feel if we can find the servants for the event itself, since they would have had to hire out additional staff, if we could find them, we can use that as a disguise to enter in. Once there, certainly, taking the form of the man of the house could very well be of great use.
Either of y'all have. I understand that you can change how you look. Anything in the magic department of changing how someone else looks? Because, I mean, not that I'm ashamed of flexes a little how I look, but I have figured out that I tend to be a little conspicuous in a crowded area.
Hmm.
I, I I don't know spells that can help you other than I can make you invisible.
That
Hmm.
might work,
Oh
but
yeah,
only for a temporarily, I imagine.
well, for an hour, yeah, but I can
As
technically
long
make.
as you don't get into scrapes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I can technically make two y'all.
Hmm.
Well, I don't think that would be of much help, considering one of me is enough to turn some heads.
You're not
Hmm.
wrong. You're not wrong. But while we're just talking through like what we can do, I can make people invisible. I can change how I look, and I got a whole lot of things that change the way the the, the world is around me. But not too much else in terms of magical capabilities.
I think you may have been on to something with the specific carrying method. If it's a light enough material, I should be able to, using the dimensions in the picture, I should be able to create a fairly lightweight material replica. Again, nothing so potent as to be
How would
hold up to inspection, but
that?
something the right size, the right shape, appearance, magical to a cursory look.
However, now that I think about it, as ingenious as my plans often are, um, how would you make that all by yourself? Because that's going to be a fucking huge skull. And two, where are you going to make it? We're going to be on a train.
I don't necessarily need to make it quite as large as it would seem. I
Okay,
can make
you
things
can make
grow
things big,
quite
right?
large, yes. It need only be
Oh,
half the size in each dimension.
so you need something that's 40 feet long and 10 feet wide.
I got your 40 feet right here. Thank you, Obs. Um,
So, Sif, to catch you up,
Yeah.
we are contemplating making a decoy dragon skull, bringing it with us in the orb that we've been given, doing an Indiana Jones style swap out for the real skull, and one of our magic users is going to disguise themselves as the fancy, powerful host of the occasion, and I guess we'll also have to subdue the real one. And that's what we got so far.
It sounds like you're trying to dodge a boulder, but you're gonna get hit by the avalanche. Cause I mean, Soleil does bring a good point. I mean, you don't have to make it as potent, but that's a lot of material. Like that's like 40 cubic squares by 10 cubic square. That's a lot.
What is that?
It's a big number.
Big. Okay.
That's all I got. But I don't know. We only have a couple of days, and there's the acquiring the material, building it. Then there's finding this guy who may not even be available to us until the day of the gala. It seems like too many moving pieces. Maybe we should just focus on getting the thing, taking it, and getting it out. You know, simple.
That we still then need an entry point, which I would still propose the use of the catering or service staff. They're very, very rarely cared for by people of this class.
But also, I mean, just keep it simple. Just turn two strong folks invisible, and you just kind of go in there and get it, and then
I feel like we need to have a look within first.
oh
We
yeah,
don't
That's
know
why
what
I said
manner of
earlier. Maybe we should just scout the place out. You know, make a little map. You know, perhaps on a flat surface, have a grid map. You know, and get a feel for the people there and work out there. Because I mean, you know, it could be really hard. It could be in like a big vault, like a big box, or you know, there could just be a window we could smash and then you know just orbit and leave. You know.
No, quite agreed. I feel like we need to have an in with someone, whether they know it or not, within the household first. Yes.
I can
So
schmooze.
yeah, I think definitely we should just focus on our prep first, and then when we get there and are doing the prep, we can figure out what to do on the night of. I imagine, you know, because like I said, I'll scout. I have my little camera. I could take pictures. Um, you know, Aurora, she's good at talking to people that we can't really talk to. Feng, food, catered. I know you want to do the catering thing, but you're going to have to look into it, right? So maybe when we get there, you can look into the employment at that building. And Soleil, you have a knack for like talking to people that Aurora normally doesn't associate with, so you could possibly do that too.
Thank you, I think.
I'm just sort of shooting in the night, as they say.
I wouldn't exactly say that words are my speciality.
Well, yeah, but you know, I
You
mean,
do tend to get people's attention with your words.
yeah. Oh wait, what if this is the Sif like fanfic headcanon coming out. What if Soleil runs into like the big fancy guy and the big fancy guy likes Soleil? Because I mean, look at him, he's like one of a kind.
Wait, is the new plan to seduce him?
It could be.
If it comes up, I mean, you know, Soleil. I mean,
That would
my
need
mother
to
used
be-
to
I could
tell me
certainly provide
stories.
ample distraction that way.
That would need to be quite a whirlwind romance.
Listen. I've seen that guy's eyes. If he's affiliated with the Wild Hunt, I can make it work.
That's true. You probably have a lot to talk about with that. You'd probably be mighty interested in someone that seems to be of Wild Hunt.
Maybe I shouldn't change my appearance then.
Maybe not.
You know, I like how our two distraction options are probably like the two partners with the largest chest sizes. We can't lose.
Soleil, make an intelligence roll.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I'm expecting a lot from you.
That's a nat
Nat
one, baby.
one. Love
Oh,
it. Love it.
The
Never
dice
mind.
tell a story.
Never mind. All right. So,
You're gonna give us grace, and then that happens.
at this point, I'm gonna have you're planning on the train and stuff on the way there and everything.
Yeah. Zelek doesn't have to hear all this.
Yeah. So you leave with the items she gave you, and get your stuff from the hotel and head to the train station, and you get the joy of leaving Venonia and its big pollution cloud, and going into the Umbrian countryside, as you cruise across, and then you enter the Grand Republic of Leon for a bit, and after a bit of traveling through there, you come to the Sierra Escudo Mountains, or maybe it's Escuda. I have to look that up, but I have to look up my Spanish. But it's the Shield Mountains, basically. Sierra Escudo. Yep, the Sierra Escudo Mountains, and these are. You notice that as you're on a train, it's. When you get to the mountain range itself between Leon and Cassyl, you see that there are a lot of, even 50 years later, there's a lot of lasting battle damage around the area. This apparently was a very hotly contested combatant theater during the Great Liberation Wars. And so there are a lot of, now overgrown with like poppies, from like what were originally shell craters and stuff. And the mountains themselves are pockmarked apparently with what was likely detonations or magical efforts to sever off portions of it and collapse it on things. So these mountains have taken a licking apparently in their past. And there are still some fortifications that have been left over, perhaps abandoned at this point. As you cross through, but the air is clean as opposed to Venonia. And when you get into Cassyl itself, you see that there are these vast fields that have been set up of various farms, leading to a elevated city on the other side of the mountain range, which is apparently on what is probably a series of hills that were leveled off that the city of Cordanada was constructed on, which does still have various walls and fortifications around it that are probably legacies of the war that have just been continued to be a part of the integrity of the town. Feng and Aurora would know, just they went to college, they took general ed classes. They know that this was one of the primary places that the old Empire of Cassyl and the Grand Republic of Leon fought across throughout the war, and the predominantly farming area that used to be the Cordonadan fields was largely destroyed, and post-war has been a big reconstruction effort there, as this is one of the big agricultural hubs of northern Cassyl. So just fun Cassylian facts for you.
I like to imagine the entire train trip. Aurora's like, I'm gonna think on plans, and is actually just basically just in her room, just doodling the countryside as it goes by. It's like, oh, I didn't do any of that.
So, with that, you arrive in the train station. You see that the town is very much set up in kind of these very castle-like, Avalodian architecture is very fairy tale castle-like. These are very much like Mediterranean castle architecture, is how the buildings and stuff are set up. And you see lots of pennants hanging off of buildings or on flagpoles outside of it, showing the overall flag of the UFAS as well as the Kingdom of Cassyl. And then specifically, additionally, since this is very much a place where the nobility still have existed, various pennants belonging to the Count di Cordanada. So there's lots of medieval heraldry shit everywhere.
Well, here we are then.
Hear a flash and a snap from Nafisa next to you. Ooh.
You guys can decide what kind of lodgings you wish to stay in. You have money to pay for whatever you choose, but that comes with various scales of visibility depending on what you choose. So just to keep that in mind.
I just want to offer, not that I'm
Yes.
going to deprive any of y'all from a nice bed, but I can make us a little house if we wanted to sleep in that.
Like carpentry?
Well, no, not carpentry. It's magic.
Oh, because I was thinking, maybe for the first couple of days over here, we'll stay at a place near the location, and then we'll just happen to have a room far enough away from it, because, like, we're doing something, whispers, illegal.
Yes, we certainly are.
I mean, that certainly would get us closer than an established building would, but wouldn't someone notice a house sprung out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Wait, it's more of a tiny hut.
I mean, I would still notice a tiny hut in the middle of the road.
How tiny we talking?
Does it have wheels?
Isn't this the one that creates like a bubble, like a force field bubble?
I think so.
Isn't this the one that Critical Role always does?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's
fucking
literally just like a magical ball on the ground. So you'd look
personally.
like homeless people with a force field.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the hobo hut. Literally, like, it's just gonna be us outside of the train station with a hobo hut. Is that legal? Is that still
Don't
allowed?
shame her. I mean, I would much prefer a hotel as well. Just thought I'd offer.
Well, I mean, your way, we wouldn't even be leaving a paper trail, so.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It wouldn't hurt.
Soleil surprisingly having good ideas.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? My little hamster in my brain stopped moving for a second.
Just that Soleil has surprisingly good ideas.
No, before that.
It would make-
He said using Aurora's hut's a good idea because it wouldn't leave a paper trail at a hotel.
Yeah. But I mean, how big is it? Are we gonna like what if a guard walks over it and then trips over it?
Well, I don't think we need to be that close.
It's like a 10-foot radius.
It also only lasts
Oh.
for 8 hours, so the rest of the day there's nothing there.
There's
so
no hut.
that also means you can't like put your stuff there.
That's true. We need
that's fine.
more stuff.
So we'll just have it in for the first couple of days, and then when we're on the run, we can have a little hobo hut, and then we'll get on the train back home. I mean, to
Well,
go back
no.
to sorry, go ahead.
Out of character, we have a mass teleportation thing once we're out of the city.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the God bless the wizard class.
No, that's not me.
No, courtesy of the
Oh.
Dragon Moms.
The Dragon Mom.
Oh, right, sorry.
I'm not
sorry about that.
helpful.
Yeah, they gave a stone of recall that once you get a safe distance away from the estate, you can be able to teleport back to Venonia.
Let me just add that next to orb for semi-truck.
Yeah. Orb of Containment. It looks like a runic Pokeball.
Well, let's
So-
get a hotel room. It's probably let's get a few hotel rooms. It's probably easier that way.
What is it like in here exactly?
Compared to Venonia.
Oh no, the orb.
Oh,
I should clarify.
it's just an orb. Like, it's the orb. You can't like go. If you open it, it's just like metal.
It's like a metal
Hands ball.
gachapon ball.
Yeah. There's nothing inside of it, and you
Oh,
figure.
I meant what's it like being inside of it?
I know. I'm saying
Organic matter shouldn't be in there.
you were told organic matter should not be in there, and
Okay.
it likely works around probably pocket dimension space. So
Okay.
Don't
so
put it in
this
a bag
is
of holding.
so this is an emergency, very lethal tool we have. Okay.
it's more of the fact like there's no air and stuff in it. So like
Yeah, very lethal, like I said.
We're not killing people with the orb.
war crime the orb.
I'm not saying we do it. I'm just saying that that's a possible use of it.
Nafisa go down at Orb War Crimes.
Nafisa, just a little bright-eyed, bushy-tailed girl, and then 5 minutes later, after being exposed to capitalism, we commit war crimes with Pokeballs.
For real. Yeah, I
War
mean,
crimes.
let's go get a place to stay at. Maybe, a middle, not too far away, but not too close, and then we'll check the place out, yeah?
Yes, that sounds lovely.
Yep. The city of Cordanada is it's much cleaner than Vennonia. It's also significantly smaller. Vennonia, is a vast city-state urban hellscape that stretches very far with millions of people. This city probably has, like several 100,000 people living in it. So it's not an industrial production city. It's more of a logistics hub for the shipping of like agricultural goods. So you do have that smell of like agriculture and fucking animal from like, various animals being shipped to and from places. Presumably, if you go near the slaughterhouse district, you're going to get that lovely aroma. And, there, aside from that, there's not nearly as much pollution here as Vennonia. And apparently everyone is in a very outdoorsy mood. Leather products, very common here. Just kind of an interesting note. Very into leather products. And the test is, much like, while Vennonia was spread out and then there were various hills, this one is just one plateau basically that is above the rest of the land around it. And so the closer you get to the plateau, the higher end things become. Presumably the highest portions of the city are also where, the elites or probably the count's palace and stuff are located.
If our lodgings are being accommodated for, I'd say we should do something that's so towards the higher end of things. That way we have easiest access to the venue.
By higher, do you mean like taller or do you mean like fancier?
The fancier. The
Technically
fancier.
both.
Okay. Yeah, that seems fair. Aurora, you have a good eye for this, so you can pick.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, actually, I do have somebody for fashion, but she's not, available. I assume not all of us may be just as servants, and we should all look, presumably fancy for this. If you want to, help us pick out clothes.
Well, sure. I don't really have much in the way of examples right now, but I certainly have worn a fancy dress in my time.
I mean, we're being like mostly compensated for, yes. Like I assume like a dress or two wouldn't hurt, or well, yeah.
All right.
Happy to get a dress for you if that's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Or
happy
pants.
to help tailor it how I can.
Mm. Yeah, if it comes down to that, of course.
We can make you a tux too if you want it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. I've never really.
What?
A tuxedo, or suit, you know?
A what?
Have you ever worn a shirt?
Why would I?
Sure.
I mean, he doesn't have to wear a shirt, right?
Does it never get cold?
No, I'm a tiefling.
What? Well, pardon me to ask, but don't you ever go to fancy fae balls or anything like that? Do you wear or
Yeah, but they let me go shirtless.
I'm sorry, my mental idea of what the fae are like is being shattered all over the place when I'm talking to you.
Darling, the parties I usually go to, people ain't wearing nothing.
That I can believe.
Right. Well,
If you, one last thing, if you are going to be disguised as a servant or something like that, probably do need to put on a shirt.
You can see, because you can't see his face at all, but you can just see his body language just sag.
No, I mean, Soleil, there's a lot of different cultures out there. I mean, not everybody wears shirts.
You
My dad
notice
doesn't.
most of the people of this town appear to be wearing shirts.
Yeah, and what if we're like foreigners, DM? What if we want to express our culture, you know? What if I want to be shirtless?
Normally, rich people love when their waitstaff expresses individuality.
And we can't all be waitstaff, right? I mean, like, Aurora's gotta come in as like the fancy, like, gala guest to be the distraction, right? Or
Hell yeah.
Soleil. Soleil, the exotic fae, like, noble or whatever. I mean, you know, his moms are pretty important, right?
Right, true.
Yeah, exactly. He's gotta dress important. Anyways, Soleil, here's the magic Mike outfit.
Giving him rip away pants.
oh my God.
Show these rich people real culture.
That's right.
Okay, so you head to the nicer end of the city, and there is a if you want to be as close to the count's estate as possible, you got to go to the highest end hotel, which is the Casa de Cid. And it is a straight up like Waldorf Astoria, basically. It is very high end.
I think Feng is in her slumming it clothes, which is just a not as garish outfit. But I would kind of like to try to inquire around, just using the kind of language that I learned from my mother's workplace to see if I can just get an idea of like, hey, I heard that there's this huge contract coming in a few days. Does anyone know how to get in on this?
Okay, make an investigation or persuasion roll.
All right.
As you're doing kind of a gather information.
It's a dirty 22.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything while Fang's looking into this?
I want to scout out if it's open, I think to go inside, but if not, I'd at least
it's not open to the public currently. Yeah. But you could go outside of it, I guess.
Yeah, and like take photos of the architecture and stuff, because I'm a tourist.
Yep.
I think Soleil would want to go with Nafisa.
Okay.
Yeah, as the hunters, we gotta prep the track and all that. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Okay.
I think Aurora would go to find herself a nice dress.
Okay.
While we're doing the legwork, Aurora's going shopping.
Okay. Can Soleil make a stealth check at disadvantage and Nafisa make a stealth check?
Uh-oh.
Is it because he's topless?
No, it's just this is presumably a blend-in stealth check, and Soleil make zero effort to blend in.
That's a 11.
Yo,
Okay.
11 gang.
11 gang.
Bro, we don't know where. How do we stealthily track in the fucking city?
Okay. I rolled a 3 on the just the passive, man, those guys look really fucking weird.
Oh well, none of my business.
Well,
Yep.
nothing to see here.
Fucking tourists.
But okay, so Feng, as you are asking around town, what specifically are you kind of inquiring about?
Well, I mean, it is not a lie to say that I have worked in a very high-end kitchen, She has the experience. She has the range. And, it's hard getting freelance work. May as well just kind of ask around, hey, I've heard that there's this huge party. They are probably still hiring out contracted the word I'm thinking of? Contracted staff and additional assistance for that. Does anyone know where I could inquire about that?
Okay. What kind of position specifically are you looking for?
I think that she could make the best argument for being within some sort of cooking or waitstaff position, but I think she's willing to stretch the credulity of her resume.
Okay. Make a. Are you proficient in cooking utensils?
I am.
Make a cooking utensils roll.
All right. Using what trait?
Should be intelligence.
Okay. Hmm.
15.
15.
Not bad. With a 15, since they are having to contract out for a lot of waiters and caterers and stuff to assist with it, because there's probably supposed to be a couple hundred attendees at this event. There's going to be 4 dignitaries. The ambassador from Eisenstadt to Cassyl is going to be there. Representatives of the Cassylian throne are going to be there. So there's a lot of people, and the staff of the count is insufficient unto itself. So you are pretty confident with your 15 that you could be able to impress one of the many caterers being hired for this to be able to show up, since they are exasperated by just what's being required of them.
And I think we'll definitely lean into her own Eisenstadt heritage. And yes, thank you. This is very helpful. I look forward to working with you.
The Cassylian, it will say it's a halfling, is the head caterer for this company. Goes like,
oh, you got the accent right. Maybe you could be able to better help us prepare some of their weird dishes. Everything's so bland there.
Of course, I was trained first and foremost in Eisenstadt cooking. I would be more than happy.
Well, happy to have you aboard, miss. What name shall we have you under?
You can have me under Lin.
Ling or Lin?
Lin.
All right, thank you, Miss Lin. Be able to come by, tomorrow. We're gonna start doing the initial food prep and bringing it over to the estate.
Of course.
All right. Next up, we got Aurora and the shopping. What do you wish to do, Aurora?
I think essentially her goal is to go to a nice dress shop in the upper district, essentially, and just try and not necessarily look to buy from that shop particularly, but to see what they have, see what the price point is, and also to inquire about folks that would be attending the gala, because she assumes that the people that would come to the tailor would be the ones that have seen a lot of the guests.
Gotcha. All right. You arrive at a very high end dress shop. The person who is running the shop is a female Durgar woman who her hair is styled into a set of stalactites coming off of her head, and then there's been 2 of them that's been wrapped around like a crown at the base of it. and she's got the gray skin of a Durgar, and she's got these just very like pale white eyes. Um, as she is wearing a rather well fitted. She does run this shop, but a well fitted like business dress basically to be flattering to her comparatively pretty stocky form. But it does accent her well, and it gives kind of this faux royalty to it. There's a bit of a faux gown aspect of it in very much like purples and grays, as she will look up at you, and you can make a persuasion check to get this going.
Okay. Sure that I'm on the right sheet. Hit this with a nice 16.
16? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So she will look up at you. Yes, miss?
Uh, Good to meet you. I myself am a artiste that is going to be attending the upcoming event, and I was hoping to peruse some of the local shops to make sure that I had the finest dress possible to impress the high standing folks that will be in attendance.
She kind of looks you up and down and goes, "Ah, you don't have an assistant to handle it for you."
No, they're off running other errands right now. But it's one of those things where I just prefer to kind of, as a discerning artist, I prefer to have my discerning eyes do the work for me in this kind of thing. They're off gallivanting about trying to make sure that everything is in place for all the lower tasks. You know how it is.
Right, of course. It is so hard to find good help these days.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Now, I mean no disrespect by this, but what exactly do you have in mind in ways of budget? This is a very particular establishment, and we want to make sure that we can provide you uh, the appropriate needs for the occasion for you.
The out of character talk is that Aurora has 50 gold, which
If
is
you
not
needed
nearly
gold,
enough for
if you
this.
needed a gold, Nafisa would have given you like. She's got 300 left. You could take that if you want.
Well, she's going to lie.
Okay, all right, cool. Fog.
And say, oh, somewhere in the realm of 300 to 500 gold. You know how it goes.
Okay, make a deception check.
21.
All right. She kind of goes, "Oh, well then, I think that we can find something fitting to you." She snaps her fingers, and you see a plate levitates out from behind a counter, and you see that there is a glass of champagne in it as it floats over to you.
Now, I just want to be upfront because I don't like to waste people's time, if you know what I mean. I do have a dress already, but I just want to make sure that the local fair doesn't have anything that suits my fancy any better. So I look forward to being impressed by you.
Understandable, of course, of course. Being able to make sure that you are appropriately complimenting the local tastes is always important. From what I understand, there is quite a international gathering of people that will be attending. Of course, there'll be the typical the military personnel in their uniforms, but all of the all the members of Cassylian nobility who will be there, of course, will want to be up to date with the current fashions of the zone. For example, I was talking to none other than the than the Count's wife just yesterday to ensure that she would get a suitably unique garb to show off for the evening.
Oh, what might that be?
She goes over and she goes, normally I wouldn't be showing you this,
I
but...
assume it was intentional, but you are muted, Obs.
What? I'm muted? Oh, sorry, I'm muted in Discord, not normal.
Gotcha.
This is unusual. She goes, normally I don't do this for people, but I know that you'll be an excellent customer, and this is some of my finest work. As she, kind of takes you over to a back room where you see much more of like the magical apparatus she uses to custom make her various dresses here. That she appears to psionically control. As you see, once she enters the room, you feel like that kind of pressurized energy, and you see the various machines and tools start auto going into work, sewing bits and threading things just as they float there and do it. And you see, like, in practically a display case on a mannequin in the back, you see this very gorgeous gown done in a split Cassylan and Eisenstadt color scheme, where it mixes the gold and black that is normally worn in Cassyl with the colors that are for the Eisenstadt flag of the red, gray, and black, and they're interfaced into each other so that they appear to be separate but intermixed in such a way that they are inseparable whenever they join up at the chest, or it's kind of swept to the side for like a slit up the side of the gown, and so where it connects over there is another unity point for it. And there is a large fanned out frock, but it's done in the style of a series of starbursts, much like the tetrarchic starburst all along it. So it's just like a series of starbursts running along the back of the dress, like where the neck would be. And then the sleeves flow out into these kind of very sharp-edged, conical gold trim that is done in the style of like individual like swords. Like each part of the gold trim is stylized as a different sword. And then last but not least is at the each of the shoulders, much like an epaulette, is presumably what is the house symbol of Cordanada, of the Count de Cordanada. So on each of her shoulders is that very medieval heraldry symbol that represents them.
Damn. I think essentially Aurora would probably just like kind of like peruse through all of these different ones, but would ultimately say something to the fact of, I think that starburst one has caught my eye the most. I think if it would be agreeable to you, I would like to have that one. However, I gotta go. My servant has the majority of the funds, and they can come along and run it on back here. So, if you wouldn't mind putting it at least on hold for now until they arrive.
Are you trying to buy the dress that she made for the Count's wife?
Oh, I see. I thought
No,
I
that
thought
is.
that was like an
She was
example
showing
of,
you
like,
the dress she made for the Count's wife because that's what you asked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely not for sale.
Unless you want to dress like them, good
That's
copy.
my dress now.
This is my dress now.
That would be a power play, though, outbuying the Countess.
I don't think you have the money to flex that right now.
What do you mean?
Considering you dropped 400 to 500 as an expression of like, this is how much I have to spend. That dress is several thousand gold.
What? Okay. Then I think she'll just humor the the tailor for a bit longer and sort of end as she's sort of like they're coming to decisions. Is by the by, I have a few artist friends who aren't exactly as well renowned as they might hope to be. And I was hoping that just as a little bit of a favor, I could procure a ticket for them to come to this gala in order to help them schmooze. I did not handle any of this myself, but I was wondering if you knew the best avenue to get in to find a purchasable avenue for this.
She goes, yeah, Ed, you rolled well at your deception, so she kind of just rolls with it and goes, well, at this point, all the invitations should have already been sent out. I would imagine that anyone would have to either get one of those invitations from somebody who's in a position of authority with the Count, or to somehow be of a significant enough power player to warrant a spontaneous invitation.
Well, I did my best for them.
Yes, this is one of the largest events to happen to Cordanada in years. It's a shame that it had to come on the heels of such disgrace by the former Count, but his son is making a great effort to show that this is the beginning of a new Cordanada and a new relationship with the Federation as a whole.
Disgrace. Apologies, my politics are not exactly my strong suit.
Oh, well, you are clearly not from around here.
No, I'm not.
It's apparently the former Count Rodrigo de Cordanada. And she kind of whispers in, she's actually, since you were pretty short, she's actually not that much shorter than you as a Durgar. She kind of just walks over to you then and goes, she whispers, it apparently the former Count was a Reiterstadt sympathizer and had been holding elements of the Orden Schwarzdragon.
You don't say. That's a bit of juicy gossip right there.
I know. I couldn't believe that our dear Count had been helping those tyrants for so many years and holding their ill-gotten gains. I have no love, of course, for the revolutionaries, but still.
Well, I thank you very much for your time. I do believe I'll have my servant come on by in a few hours to pick up that lovely pink dress you have over there, if that is agreeable to you.
Excellent. Well, do you want to pay now or later?
We will pay later, because I don't have that money on me.
Yeah, I didn't know if you actually wanted to flex that. So she goes, oh, well, it'll be waiting here when your servant returns.
Of course. I appreciate your help immensely.
Of course. And she does a little curtsy. All right, Nafisa and Soleil.
This is not gonna go well.
You guys look obvious. However, apparently with the hustle and bustle leading up to this gala, nobody's really paying you too much mind. You now can both make perception or investigation checks, whichever you prefer.
How are you feeling, Meris?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling mighty perceptive.
Same, dog. All right. That's a 9.
A big old 13.
I'm glad we put our crack team on this one. Okay, as you guys are observing it, you get up. There is it's a bit of a walk from where your hotel is to the high end portion of town where like the very fancy apartments and houses are, and you notice that as you move through them, there is a gated community within that where you see that there is the grand chateau of the count. It is fenced off, but it's done in that very like bougie fenced off. So the base of the fencing is covered in like plants and flowers and stuff. So out of what would probably be maybe like a 15-foot tall fence around it, with walls as well woven into it. The shrubberies and bushes go up probably about 6-7 feet. So you can look around and you see that you guys rolled very poorly. So you do see that you can the fence is topped with it does seem to be some kind of like runic like iron points at the top of the fence. But aside from them having runes carved into them, it doesn't look like it'd be impossible to scale. So if you had a better idea about what those runes did, maybe that would shape it. But it does seem to be that there is some moderate runically inscribed stuff at the top. But other than that, there is the fence. This is a very large estate. It's like several 100 feet like wide and stuff, with big gardens in front of it. It's shaped in a U, where from where you are, you can kind of see that there appears to be a very large courtyard in the center that people are beginning to set stuff up in. Where presumably that is where the main area will be. There is a stage that's being constructed, perhaps less a stage, more an arena, in reference to that pugilist fight that was supposed to occur. And there you do see that there are some guards about. They appear to be fairly plainclothes guards, so like wearing suits and hats and stuff. Some of them have what appears to be a saber at their side. And Soleil, make a straight wisdom check with advantage.
Oh, okay. I'm not a wise man. That's an 8.
Oh no, that's not going to be good for the blood of the checks during session.
Okay, Soleil, there's something about these guards that it seems familiar to you, but you can't place your finger on it. But they're currently, they seem to be at a overall state of like relaxed sentry. Like they're less concerned right now about things. But yeah, there's several dozen people coming and going through the front gate. Like it's monitored. There are guards there and presumably household staff that are clearing people. But there are a lot of construction people, a lot of servant staff coming in and setting stuff up. The building itself appears to be 3 stories high in its U shape. But you all rolled really poorly, so you can't get much more than that.
Damn.
There you go. You go ahead,
Go
Meris.
ahead. Oh
Yeah,
no.
you go ahead.
All right. I was just gonna ask. You said there's like runes above the entrance, correct?
on the top of the fence, like where if you've got a fence where each bar has like a spearhead at the top of it, each of those
Gotcha.
spearheads has runes on them.
Gotcha. And I can assume that these specific runes don't look any kind of familiar based off of my whopping 8 wisdom roll.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. That's a 22.
Wow, how are you so dumb, but you know this fact?
Ilya's lessons coming through.
How are you so dumb but so smart?
The runes are definitely magical. So you definitely figured that. They appear to be abjuration runes. So this very likely has to do with some level of protection, latent spells woven into them. But since you don't have specialized spells or abilities, you can't really
Correct.
figure out what the spells are. But you do know that they are magical, they are protection spells, and they are dormant currently.
Nafisa, you snapping pictures of all this, and he'll
Yeah,
motion
she's
specifically to the fence and just say, "I reckon our magic users can make more sense of this than I can, but I don't think we're gonna be getting anywhere so long as these runes are activated."
yeah. I don't think we could like fly over or use magic to get through. I mean, like maybe we can't even use magic when we're inside. What if you can't? What if Aurora can't turn us invisible? Um,
That would be
but yeah.
unfortunate, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not let the imagination wander.
Oh, well,
Well,
my imagination has been wandering. I have a idea maybe, but I'll finish taking photos of these fences first. I can't really get a good shot on the building or the people inside though.
yeah, it's almost like they don't want us to see.
Shocking that.
Damn. Hey, she's being honest. Hey, I'm working with that 9 perception obs, okay? To explain why these photos might be shit.
Oh no, they're all blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your thumb is in the picture. Like,
Trying to be.
She's new to this. Leave her alone.
I've never had to do like scouting imagery. Just like I've had to do recreation.
She's
work.
been doing selfies this whole time.
Little goof shots for Instagram, but
Kid Spice
yeah.
Girly trying to form an infiltration.
Hashtag be gay, do crime.
Do you have any other questions or anything while you're here, you two?
All right. Full transparency, DM. I have speak with animals and beast sense.
Okay.
What is
would
beast
you be
sense? Okay? I can like, I gain the senses of the animal, so what they see, I see. What they hear, I hear.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
All right. Make a. Sorry, continue.
I was gonna ask if there's like a sewer grate nearby, or like if
there's not a sewer grate nearby this fancy place.
Yeah. Plumbing doesn't exist for rich people.
Like they just have it safely underground, away from their house.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, we just need to bring our own rats.
But yeah, would there be a small little critter for me to
speak to? Make an animal handling check.
All right, I should be good at this. 21.
All right, you are pretty good at this. There are birds. There are birds about. There is there's a squirrel, several squirrels actually, and you're really shitty at perceptions. You probably couldn't see any rabbits moving around. But yeah, you got some birds and some squirrels in the immediate area, just doing animal things.
I mean, I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals and try to get the attention of one of the animals, or like if I could get a couple, that'd be good. If that's allowed.
Disney princess, Disney princess.
Just like Soleil watching him just start speaking, or watching her start speaking squirrel.
Squeaking.
Yeah, the croc thing, squeaking.
All right.
If I had to pick one, then it'd be the squirrel.
Okay, so a squirrel is currently, on a tree, looks down at you, and as you cast the spell, he kind of does his little spazzy rodent thing as he goes, buenos dias. How are you?
Hi, my name is Nafisa. Whenever I make a new friend, I have to give them a little, and she like reaches into her back pocket and puts out like a little treat that she gives to Nyx, a Nyx treat, if you would. Hi, would you like a little snack?
Snack. This pleases me. Yes.
Yes. I was wondering if you could help
Do you have
me and
more?
my friend.
I would request more snacks, please.
Yes, for your friends and stuff, right? And for you to like. Put
No,
away
for me. They can find their own snacks. They will meet their own strange woman.
Okay. I will. Yes. I can give you some more. In fact, like here's like 2 or 3, and then
You should be careful with that thing next to you. It looks dangerous. It looks hungry. As he looks at fucking Nyx.
Oh no, Nyx is good, and you see Nyx is like one of the big dogs. She doesn't chase squirrels unless I give her permission.
I thought for sure that the squirrel was talking about Soleil.
Soleil's also because Soleil also looks like the kind of person that would eat a squirrel.
Yeah, true.
The squirrel looks very, very warily and goes, You should never command her to be eating or hunting squirrels. It is
No,
highly
no, I
offensive.
won't. Oh, don't worry, don't worry. Nix and I are very like non-offensive, you know.
This has been
Good rep.
noted. We will note your squirrel hunting activities. This will reflect.
Oh, I mean, we won't do that. See, Nix isn't slobbering or drooling at all. You know, she's not hungry, and I've given you some treats. Anyways, I'm Nafisa. This is Nix. That is Soleil. What's
He
your
seems
name?
dangerous. He looks like he hunts squirrels. I do
Yeah,
not
he
like him.
probably.
I do not care for him.
Don't worry, he won't be hunting squirrels over here. I'll make sure he is very well fed.
See to it. I find his presence disconcerting. He looks like he would eat me right now.
Mm-hmm.
The squirrel kind of
Uh,
skitters up the tree a bit farther.
don't worry, don't worry. If he tried to climb up that fence, I'm pretty sure other bad things would happen to him before he got to you.
Good. He would suffer the right punishment.
Anyways, what is your name?
I am a squirrel.
Oh, okay.
My name is.
Uh, okay, as long as if I call that out again, I'd like to see you again. I will give you more treats if I see you again.
Good. This
Um,
is a suitable offering.
I was wondering before they give you some more if you could like look inside and like show me things like holes that people my size could fit into, or like what the yard looks like. If it's safe for you, of course. I mean, if there are dogs in the field that would hunt you down, like don't worry, I don't want you hurting yourself. But
You are
if you
very
give me like a
large.
view,
I don't imagine there is any hole that could sustain you.
hmm, could you at least try for me?
I will see. I will see what I can see, but know that there are many holes, but they are not your size. You should
Could
consider being smaller.
maybe we could do that, but here, can I just see through your eyes? If that's okay?
He looks at you very warily. He goes, "What do you mean? Do you wish to remove my eyes? That's very
No.
hawk-like behavior."
Oh, don't worry. I am not a hawk. I do not have the feathers. My mom had a hawk, but he is not here. But me, I
The
I have.
squirrel looks at you warily at that. So you are friends with hawks. This
Well,
has been
yes, but
noted.
hmm I'm friends with lots of people and things and animals. But listen, I can do like you know magic. People have weird magic, and like she like does a little She casts Goodberry, and like I will give you all 10 of these. One will stuff you for like a full day, so it'll be good for the winter time when you need to hibernate. Um, I will cast one of these spells on you, and then I can see through your eyes. But I can't do anything to you. I just see what you see and hear what you hear. Okay? You'll give me like a little tour.
I do not understand this magic, but I do understand berries and the consumption thereof.
hmm Okay, if that's okay, come here, and I will give you a little poke. And she like sticks her finger through the fence, since Bee Sense is a touch spell.
the the squirrel kind of very hesitantly looks over and puts his little paw on your finger as he immediately tries to swipe a berry.
I mean, he could try to take one, but there's like 10 in that fucking hand.
Yeah.
Um, Anyways, if he touches it, I cast Bee Sense. For up to 1 hour, I can see through his eyes and hear what he hears. And Nafisa will just say, like, could you run on the estate for me and your like jaunt and where you see people. And if you end up getting into the house, that's fine too. Just give me the squirrel tour.
My father once went into the house. He was never seen again.
That's okay. You don't have to go into the house, but wherever you feel comfortable, like looking at them and looking at the people and the places around
I will
from the
always
top of the
remember
tree.
this as a stain on my honor.
How many good berries is your honor worth? And she holds up the remaining nut.
Ooh, ice cold.
Honor. I have hungered. I know. Honor does not feed us. Your father would be happy to hear you survive.
The squirrel proceeds to stuff as many of them into his cheeks as possible.
That's enough. What is enough to? I mean, I know he's just
Oh,
holding them in his
God.
cheeks, but like, God. Oh yeah, since I have his senses, I fucking feel that. God damn.
Yeah, you feel your cheeks puff up with these very bland berries.
Mhm.
And he begins skittering off. So you are a squirrel, and he's living his squirrel life. So he is blitzing in to try and get from cover to cover, basically. You see, there's several dozen people, setting things up around the courtyard area where the arena was being built. There's very nice, garden flowers that appear to be, through your knowledge, they appear to be magically sustained plant life. Like this stuff is too pretty and too impossible for this region, that they are clearly using magic to allow it to live here. And the smells are kind of overwhelming for all the people around and their sweat and everything. And as you kind of skitter around, you see him kind of go over to one of the what appears to be somebody's lunchbox that they've left, as they apparently had to get up for something that's still open. And he immediately stops searching to go over to the lunchbox and grab some shit out of it.
real respectable, would not judge.
And then you feel your cheeks are real pushed to the limit right now.
I don't know if Nafisa can handle it.
As he is skittering around some more. As you get closer, you see that some of these guards around. Now you can make another perception check now that you're here.
Oh yeah. It's perceiving time. Here we go. That is a 20, artificial.
Yeah, a dirty 20. You see that these guards, they have what appears to be stylized red wolf pelts, over their shoulder, over their business suit kind of thing. And they do appear to have shoulder holsters underneath the suit for the various guards. What this is significant of, you don't know, but you do know the guards have these wolf pelts, and they do have pistols on them. As you continue to skitter about, there is make a survival roll. This would be a luck-based survival roll.
Oh man. Lucky based. Natural 20!
Natural 20. You
Give me the
love to see it.
person-sized hole, dear.
All right, nat 20. The squirrel, for whatever reason, is he is skittering around a lot of the portions of the estate. You notice that he arrives near the bottom level of the estate, at the kind of back of the building. There is you see just some windows kind of in the ground. No, not windows in the ground. You see that there is a large double door that is inside of the building itself. So you can see it through one of the windows in the back. That appears to be going even further down into probably a basement area. And this squirrel, as he gets there, he feels, and you feel vicariously, a very intense pressure. It's probably more intense because he's a squirrel, but he feels a very intense, magical pressure coming at him. And once he sees that those doors inside the building that do appear to be, they've got some kind of locking system on them, he scampers away real quick because he does not like the feeling of that pressure coming in on him. Yep. So those doors probably maybe 20 feet wide, and
they're inside the building.
Inside the building.
Okay, they're probably important.
Yeah, they're probably important. That's safe to say with that nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
So you do know that there is something in the building that has what is clearly doors that are big enough to probably fit the skull through, that go into a subterranean level of the house. And you know approximately where on the first floor of the house that access way would be.
Okay.
As much as you can without physically being in the house.
Yeah, Nafisa's trying to make like a mental map and will probably draw it in the journal from
Yep.
the outside for what she sees in, but obviously like fog of war and all that. Can't see everything.
And with that, the squirrel will return.
Mhm.
Soleil, while Nafisa's chittering at a squirrel, and then proceeds to like close her eyes, and you see the squirrel scamper off, and she basically, you can't talk to her. What are you doing?
I have no idea what he's doing because she gave him no heads up of what
Yeah,
she was doing.
She really didn't.
So I think he's really concerned for her because all of a sudden she's just unresponsive.
Oh no!
Nyx is barking at him and he doesn't know what to do. So I honestly I think um he wants to be useful in this mission as a whole, but honestly that's a little alarming. And he, as far as he can see, they've done all they could. I legit think he would just pick up Nafisa and starts to head back.
Oh no! I hope the squirrel intercepts.
The squirrel returns. This is concentration up to an hour. So the squirrel gets to the
can
wall and sees, or gets to the fence and sees Soleil picking you up and walking away. The squirrel can't communicate with Soleil.
yeah, but I can drop concentration on
Yeah,
since after seeing
so-
that. And like, oh, Soleil, it's okay. I was just with our little friend. And then she proceeds to say his name in squirrel.
What does it sound like without that
Oh.
translation?
Yeah.
Use your best Nafisa accent for these squirrel noises.
Oh no. I don't remember. Squeaking.
Oh,
I tried.
the squirrel goes, that was an awful version of my
offended.
name.
The squirrel will remember this.
This will be
No.
remembered.
Sorry, the squirrel is not the first language of mine, but I will work harder. But I promised you, and she pulls out like a few more Nyx tricks.
He takes them and
Okay,
goes.
so he'll put you down. So okay, let me be perfectly clear. You were having a conversation, like a genuine conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you hunt, right? You talk to animals, right?
No.
Oh, the Feywild animals do talk, but they are very different.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so how are you supposed to hunt something without knowing about it? You know, it's okay, buddy. I will help you with your next hunt if we go on one together. She like pats him on the head.
He's a little flabbergasted right now.
This is how people hunt here. Eastern marches go hard. But yeah, listen, and she'll like go back to pick at animals to say his name. If I see you again in a few nights and I'm feeling up to it, I'll give you more good berries if you want.
Good.
But
Feed me more.
why don't you want to share with your like family or friends?
That is not our way. That is not our culture or custom. We harvest what we need to survive. We will survive the winter. I vow this.
I mean, you're saying we there, so maybe you are sharing with them for the winter. But your dad fed you when you were small, right?
My mother did. And then she was eaten.
Damn, Squirrel's got a tragic backstory.
I mean, you needed her help then, and well, you could still use help now, and other people could use your help.
But when I have my own children, I will try not to eat them. And I will feed them accordingly. My mate has yet to be able to breed appropriately.
If you and your mate end up loaning here, though, you could join our party.
I do not wish to party. I wish to survive.
Oh, it's like a pack. You could join my pack.
Pack! That sounds like some very wolf-like behavior.
And?
Wolves are like hawks, but on the ground.
But then you could be like wolves, but in the trees.
You see the squirrel's eyes go wide as he goes, There's wolves in the trees, and he just screams in squirrel and runs away, and he just books it.
Damn it, Ovs is not letting me invite more people to the party. Nafisa will have the zoo party.
For those of you playing at home, a group of squirrels is called a dray or a scurry.
A scurry of squirrels.
Incredible.
Okay, I will invite you to my story next time. Bye bye. Okay, Soleil, we can go back. And Nafisa takes out her journal and starts like sketching out what she saw. He showed me around. Look, I found the big doors. They were scary.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, you're the big and strong. You might know big and strong people. And she like kind of sketches like the guys in suits with the red wolf fur over their shoulder.
Soleil.
Yes.
Now that you see that, that is very familiar to you. Those are blood wolves.
Oh.
like the ones from my
Yep.
origin story.
Yep, like the ones from your origin story.
Oh, not these guys.
That is, they look different than the ones you encountered. Yours were much more like hunter types with heavy crossbows and stuff in the mountains, but these guys are definitely have the same kind of wolf pelts of the blood wolves.
And Nafisa, these are the guys that are guarding the front door?
Yeah.
We might have a problem.
Yeah, I saw them look scary. I don't think we could fight if we end up. I don't think we should fight if we end up getting caught. I think we should run.
Oh no, we could fight them. As a matter of fact, I've already fought them. That's the problem.
Oh no.
I think with that we're gonna end there for tonight.
Incredible.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh man.
All right, everyone. I hope you guys had fun watching that, our first stream back, first session back in the campaign. I hope all my lovely players had fun. I was not expecting the squirrel arc at the end.
Squirrel lore.
The deep squirrel lore.
You know
Winter
that
is
squirrel
coming.
is gonna be back.
If I get a how do we want to do this, I'm letting that Squirrel Avenger's dad.
Oh my god. 1d6 squirrel damage.
I hope everybody had fun. I'll be back on Thursday for Fallout 4. I want you all to know you're all beautiful, amazing, and valid people, and I hope you enjoyed spending your night with me nearly as much as I enjoyed spending it with you. We are going to be rating Callie. She's just a little tiefling gal, playing Silent Hill 2 and being sad that she can't smooch Pyramid Head.
Ain't that just the way?
Man, I hate it when my husband's embodiment of sexual frustration gets romanticized.
I got your sexual frustration right here. Pants grab.
All 40 feet of it.
If you haven't done so already, also give me a follow here on Twitch, a sub over on YouTube, where I also have the VODs of every one of the sessions of Nexus Forlorn Legacy, as well as the entirety of my previous D&D campaign, Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. It's a lot of fun. Many of these people here were in that. Soleil is directly related to characters from that campaign. So if you want deeper lore, go check it out. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. So also go check out all of these people. Many of them stream or do art and stuff in their own way, so go send them your love and support. And we are gonna go raid Callie and send her some love, and we'll be back next time for the exciting stage 2 of this heist and seeing how that plays out.
Thank you for being back, Obs.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye.